Hello everybody, Thomas Fleming here. We have the calm before the storm. There's a storm coming across Alabama heading for us. The northwestern part of the state is under a tornado watch. We don't know if we're going to get anything that bad out of this, but we do know that it is capable of it anyway. So we're hunkering down. We're going to kind of stay here and wait and see what happens. If you're ever in a park like this and you need to get someplace, your car is a good place as if you have nothing else. But the restrooms here, the comfort stations as they're called, have concrete brick walls. They are secure. You may hear in the background some gunshots. No, I don't live in a bad neighborhood. There's a shooting range over there. Most of the time it's just single shots or some kind of a semi-automatic, but sometimes I get you get the burst. I think it's a police range that's open to the public. So you never know who you're going to run into over there. Anyhow, you can see in the background there's a comfort station. If you're ever in bad weather, you want to get low. If you have a basement to go to the basement. Three-sided basements are good in this type of weather. There will be high winds. It's not the high winds that are dangerous, it's what the high winds are throwing around that become dangerous. So you don't want to be out. We're getting little bits of bursts here. It's starting to move towards us. It's maybe an hour or so away. They've extended the time till 5 p.m. and I don't know, it's 2 something now, so we're getting close. I'm going to take most of what I've got in my tent and move it low. If the wind blows hard, it pushes the sides in a little bit. I've been through 50-mile-an-hour winds, so we'll just see what we get. This is just, normal for being out. You just have to be aware. Whatever your situation is, just have some awareness and have plans. The thing is staked to the ground so well that I don't think it's going to blow away. But it might flatten the sides out a little bit. I don't know if you've been in, I've actually been in high rises where the wind's blowing pretty fast up at the top, and you can see the glass push in and out as the wind's blowing. And you can feel the building sway. All right, well, this is kind of an indication of where we're at now. We're waiting for the storm to hit. There is a major storm coming to the United States. You can't keep doing the things that this country has been doing in the face of God and expect to get away with it. I mean, just recently we sided with Iran. And we voted with the UN against expanding the settlement areas in Israel. They owned the land. They conquered it fair and square. They were challenged and they beat back the enemy, and now they have the land. It has never been solely Muslim land. It was Israel's long before it was Muslim land. Before that, it was other people, but God promised that to the Israelites. You can see the wind starting to come up. It just blew a bunch of leaves off of that tree. This fight's been going on forever, but it's God's promised land to the Israelites who live there now. And anybody who claims it is using a lie. Completely a lie. I'm feeling drops of water on me. Yeah, the clouds are moving fairly fast. There's a bit of a small front coming by first. The winds are picking up. I don't know if you can see them up there. This is kind of how the world is right now. We know the storm's coming. We're seeing some of the signs of it, but we're not seeing, it's not dangerous yet. So you go in and you do what you need to do. If you've got storm windows, you close those in front. That's what those wooden decorative things are on modern homes. They're old storm windows. Most of them are permanently affixed to the side of the house now. They don't close. But you used to go out and pull those in, fasten them down. If you remember in the movie Birds, when they're in the house and they're being attacked from the outside, he pulls the storm windows closed, and he gets his hand bit up a little bit, but he closes those to keep the birds from going through the windows. Most people don't remember those because they haven't been around for a long time. Like I said, they're just decorative. It's kind of like putting on the armor of God. If you don't have it on and the storm starts to hit, you're reaching for it fast. Now that's figuratively, but you should be dealing with the armor. Now, just get it on and be ready. Don't forget it. Armor of God is in Ephesians. So you go in there in Ephesians 6 and just find out what you need. And you should be doing that, practicing that every day. Our military does practice drills. They've been doing practice drills around the world, especially in some of the heated areas, with the local governments. We may go out with South Korea. North Korea doesn't like it. North Korea complains if we do it again, they're going to launch everything they've got. Well, now they've opened their mouth up and we're still getting together and they're not doing anything. People don't believe if you don't back up what you say. If we say to love one another and we don't back that up by displaying love for one another, we lessen the power of God to the world. If you're going to quote verses, you better be living them. Now I'm just doing this as a quick general little video that I'm doing right now, just because I'm sitting here waiting, as we're all waiting. We know that there's a rapture. But that's like saying, well, after the battle there's going to be, helicopters coming in to get us out of here. You don't focus on the escape, the evacuation, you focus on surviving to that point. If you don't survive to that point, there's nothing to get you out of here. A lot of body bags were purchased for, wars when we've had them. When I was stationed in the Philippines, I grabbed a couple of cases of them. I brought them back. They were not used, of course, along with some other medical things that they had. They were too creepy. I eventually got rid of them. I had an American flag as a bedspread for a long time. It was a flag off of an aircraft carrier. It was big. It wasn't disrespectful. I did it out of pride for the country. I wasn't thrilled about Vietnam either, but we did our duty. So we got another battle coming. We just have to hold on. We just have to outlast the enemy that's protecting us. all this physical stuff that's coming around us, all these things that are happening, they're distractions. You watch a magician. He's got two hands. If you can figure out which hand the action's going to be in, don't take your eye off of that and you figure out what he's doing. But he distracts you with the other hand, and when you look away, he does his manipulation with the hand you should have been watching. So all this stuff is just setting things up. The planner for this is Satan. He knows this planet and us, not as well as God, but well enough to be better at it than us. So you're going to have to stay in the Word. Stay repentant. Stay prayerful. All these things that you need to outlast the spiritual battle. The physical battle is no big deal. God can handle that. He can keep us away from any of that. If we don't survive the spiritual battle, that's the failure that we're going to be in. I just had a pine needle drop. Leaves flying by. You can see them behind me. There's one tree here that hung onto its leaves. I showed you that. They're getting strong enough winds that might take off whatever's left. I'm watching the clouds. They're going in, some clouds are going this way, some clouds are going this way. It's interesting that you can see that there are different layers. That's how you can get tornadoes, when the different layers hit each other. The tornadoes always start horizontal. They don't start vertical. They start horizontal and then they dip down to touch the ground. But they always start horizontal because you got cloud layers. One going below, one going above. Well, like I said, we're under a tornado watch. Now they didn't include this county yet because they only go so far over. We'll be brought into it soon, but it's just the next county over, which is 10 miles away. I'm going to see if I can get some footage when the storm starts. See if I can get some things happening. You can see what it's like out here. If I can get those and tack them onto the end of this, I'll deal with that. Now I know I'm recording on my phone right now, but I have a method of making this work and getting over to Rumble. I just posted a video on Rumble today. That was done fairly live. When I finished it, it was already on the laptop. I just uploaded it. That will not go over to YouTube. Rumble's going to have the exclusive video from now on. So if you don't go to Rumble, you won't see the good stuff. I'll do a little bit here and there on YouTube. And so far, I'm not talking about anything too bad, so this might be one that goes on YouTube as well. But as a minimum, I'm going to skip every other day on YouTube. And eventually I may get to the point where I'm doing one, maybe two a week. It depends on how much bandwidth I've got, whether I can upload, because the primary function of uploading is going to be to Rumble. And if I've got anything left over in bandwidth, then I'll take it over to YouTube. You see what I'm getting at? I've got to focus on where I can put things up, where I can say what needs to be said and not filtered, and not gypped when it comes to money. I'm not going to say anything that will get me in trouble on YouTube because I'm going to leave the channel up. But I need everybody. I've got over 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. I haven't reached 100 yet. Come on, people. Come on over. It's free. All you got to do is register. It's free. It works a little different, but it's doing pretty much the same thing. There's going to be a lot more political. There'd be better news over there, things over there that won't be filtered. If you want to still watch, reviews of movies and some old movies, you can find a lot of old movies. The old black and white movies, you can find a lot of those on YouTube that are free. There's a lot of free movies there. Or you can subscribe, like I have. I've subscribed to YouTube to eliminate the commercials. I'm going to drop that here soon, probably this month. I haven't yet, because I'm in transition. And I need everybody to come with me. For all those that have been supporting me and using the chats to keep in touch and comment, you especially I need to have come over there. I haven't figured out how to monitor the comments as well as I did on YouTube, so I have to watch I get an email when you leave me a comment. I'm going to have to use those to keep track of it for now. It's all doable. It's just tech. Just got to learn it. I've been learning tech all my life. All right, so I've got about half of my video together. I'm going to see if I can get some of the storm when it comes out. We'll see how that goes. Pray for everybody that's in the path of this storm, not just where I'm at, but everybody be safe. Till we meet in the clouds, God bless. Okay, everybody, that's what's coming our way. And it's pretty big. It's a big storm. But that narrow band, that's where the tornadoes come from, so we got to watch it. And you can see how we've had rain coming up all day. Because some of it's all the way over here that we dealt with earlier today. So, and you can hear the wind blowing. I'm inside. I've left the door open a little bit so I can see down low. So be ready, I'm going to cover this. I pushed my containers over against the side. That's my cooler. Here's my table. I got everything down low. I might even put the coffee maker on the ground yet. We'll wait and see. There's one of my lights. Okay, it's going to be crazy. Stay tuned. Actually, when I post this, it will be after the fact, so the fact that you see it tells you I survived. Here you can see from the other side of the door, I've got my tarp on top. It's at an angle. I'm trying to get the most coverage. I've got a window back there that's protected. I can open that window. I can open this door unless the rain's going horizontal, and the same on this one. And I can do a little bit on one in the back. I'm in these trees, but there's very little leaf coverage, so there's not a lot blocking the wind. If you look out that way, though, there are plenty of trees to slow it down. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. I'm excited. I don't know about you. Sometimes camping gets boring. There's another tent, small tent, three people up there above me. If it gets bad and they play the sirens, you might have heard the sirens on Wednesday on one of my videos, or I recorded on Wednesday. I don't know what day I put it up. So we have those here if we need them. This is a fairly populous area. Right on the other side of those trees, on the other side of the lake, is Highway 20. It goes east-west out of Atlanta, heads over to Birmingham. The storm is already through Birmingham. I haven't heard anything major yet, so I'm assuming that means they didn't get any major damage. Well, I pray they didn't. Okay, stay tuned. Getting some of the early wind in here. It's already in North Georgia. They've been covering Rome, Georgia, which is north of the Atlanta area. They said that the storm is actually moving at 65 miles an hour. That's how fast the storm front is moving. We're getting some of the wind in here now. That's a big tree to be moving like that. I've already had some branches come down up in the camping area, so I'm going to kind of stay down here. I'm probably going to be in my car when this hits. If I need to, I will get over to the comfort area. See, I'm up there. You can see the tarp blowing over my tent there. That's what's left of a tree that got blown down at some point, so we can get some strong winds here. You see there, a little bit of swirl right there with those leaves. The wind that you're seeing here in front of me is blowing from east to west. The storm that's coming is coming from west to east. When these two meet, that's where the problem lies. I don't know if you can see the clouds moving. You see, they're not even going the direction of the wind that was just blowing. Some mean looking clouds up there. This is a long line of thunderstorms that's going from Tennessee all the way down. It's at an angle. There have been tornado warnings in the northern part, none down here, but that doesn't mean we can't spawn one. And even if there's no tornado signatures, the winds are 50 to 60 miles an hour when the storm front blows through. And we're moments away from this storm blowing through this particular area here. It's turning my tarp into a sail. That's what the wind's doing. It's blowing me around a little bit too. You can see the rain. Wind's blowing pretty good right now. Seeing some of the heaviest rain. Can't even see the lake out there. I am standing underneath a pavilion, so I'm okay so far. I put my car close in case I needed to run for it. I'm getting a little bit of spray hitting me, but not too bad. It's not blowing the trees around a lot. I'm surprised at that. There's a look at what the trees are doing. Nothing too bad. Just depends on where they're at, I guess.